I am so afraid of failing. And that fear of failing is so crippling. It feels like I woke up with like 10,000 followers on YouTube, and that was something like I didn't anticipate. Just usually things require me extremely hard work. And creating these videos has definitely been hard work, no doubt. But even when I do complete hard work, I don't assume like immediate benefits that reflect that hard work. And to see the success has been, like, I feel like when I get success, my immediate reaction is joy. But that is like 1% of the reaction, because the rest of the reaction is, okay, well, I've got to maintain this success and this has to keep going, or else this could easily fall off, in the next second. Like, I constantly check my phone just to make sure. My landlord just called me and it just literally gave me some anxiety. But like, no, I mean, like, as soon as I succeed, there's an instant pressure to maintain that success and accumulate more success, because I always feel like this looming danger and this looming fear that that success is a one-off, that something's going to mess up, that I'm going to do something or whatever to no longer maintain that success. Like, I've always assumed that this stuff takes hard work, and I have other friends who do content creation, and it's like not that way for them. It's kind of just something that's fun, and they almost like, I feel like their lightness is what fuels their content and makes it work. But for me, I feel like it's the opposite. It's like this diligence and this repetition. Like, I assume that I just need to do maximum output all the time, and if I do that, then something will work. But that actually really wasn't the case. I feel like there's a spark that like when I'm recording the videos, I think nothing of it. Okay, whatever, it's just me doing my yap. But when I actually see like people respond and people are interested in what I have to say, I think I'll go back and I'll watch these videos. I'm like, yes, there was a spark there. You had something there. You did good, okay? But like, I didn't even realize that in the moment. Like, I didn't even feel that way in the moment when I was recording or when I was just, doing what I do. And then it'll be like, I'll have posted that video that does well literally the day before, and it'll be the day after, and I'm just like, you're gonna lose that spark. Today it might not be there. What if you're too tired? What if you're too burnt out today? What if today you're not gonna have it? Like, what if you've lost it? What if you're not gonna be able to have an idea? Like, you've been making too many ideas. You've been having so many ideas. You made 4 videos yesterday in one sitting. Like, what if, like, it's just, and it's like that for everything. It's not just videos. Like, you might just say you need to take a break or slow down. This is just like how I am. Literally, this is just how I am in every like facet. When I was younger, all I really had was school, and it was the same thing of me just like just having this crippling anxiety before anything actually happens. Like, now I'll just check my phone over and over again. What if, a bunch of people just decide like, that you're not good enough, whatever. And I feel like that anticipation is what stops me from like moving forward. Like, there's a clarity that I have when there's no pressure, but it's like I can't even control that pressure when it just appears in my mind. But there's this clarity I have when there is no pressure, that energy is pure and it just flows from me. And you might relate to this too. It's like when you're not anticipating yourself and watching yourself talk and assuming that something is lost, you are at your greatest. But I think I'm just kind of scared that I can't be at that state consistently over and over again. That one day it's just going to die, and it's going to take so long for it to come back, and people are going to just forget about me or something. And it's like, I feel like that does sound a little bit shallow, because it's like, does all you care about, is all you care about people's attention? And it's not necessarily that. I feel like the measure changes on depending on what it is that I deem successful. Nowadays, because I do so much content creation, it is going to be relying on like, an audience. But before that, it was the approval of other people, the approval of people around me, doing well in social situations, or making people who were authority figures happy. It's always been that way. I've always been so afraid that like my intellect will go away, or just something will go away, something that like was keeping me up will go away. And I don't know. I mean, sometimes I just sit here and it's just me talking to my camera. I'm like, is this really important to you? Like, is this something like you care about? And it's like I've always had this like questioning in my brain, constantly, nonstop questioning. It's like sometimes like people just be like, Zena, just be, just exist. But it's like I'm working on it. I am working on it. But there are times like this where I just feel so far removed from that person who just exists in that moment. And I wonder if it's just like, is this something neurologically different about me? Like, is like, am I the type of person whose brain just has too much capacity for thoughts? Or is this something that's learned? Or is it both? I can't even figure that out. But it's like, I wonder if the me is like enough. Like, I remember like when I first started to make content, I made content regarding other people online. Like, oh, this is what's happening online. I used to be like an online reporter to like the TikTok masses in regards to like current events online, right? And I think the reason why I started with that kind of content is because I didn't think that just me being me was enough. Like I didn't even default to thinking, oh, I'll just make my own content. Just me being me. Like that didn't even occur to me. I thought like I have to talk about things outside of me. And I think that's because I just didn't think that there was something like for people to consume or people to watch. Because like for me, when I think of myself, I think of like a question, like a questioning, like skepticism. Like I don't know if y'all know what that is, but skepticism is this like kind of form of philosophy where it's like these people who question everything to its core. There's no foundational root that skepticists like accept to reality. They will question the very nature of reality to like whether there's even trees outside, whether there even is an outside, because how do you know your brain's not hallucinating? And I feel like that philosophy really sums me up. It was the first kind of philosophy that drew me in, like back in 2020. It was like this idea that we cannot trust anything about what we know about reality because even the faculties of our perception, our eyes and our brains, like our brains are almost like sponges that take in information and transmute them. How do we know that that transmutation is not warping reality? Which I think it is. And I feel like that philosophy of just questioning everything with no foundational basis or root, that is how I feel like I am. Like I'm a bundle of questions. Like, so I think there's nothing for someone to observe. Like there's nothing for somebody to like see when they see me. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? That might sound crazy, but I feel like that was a good idea. And now I realize it's back. Like I feel that my energy is still here. So it should keep me calm, but it's not until I post this video where I'll really think, okay, I am still wanted, I don't even know, bro. I feel like this year is going to change things for me because it's been a lot of hard work and it's been a lot of opportunities snubbed and it's been a lot of differential treatment of me on the basis of I don't even know what compared to other creators. There's been a lot of that. And it's just like I need one good thing. And I feel like YouTube is going to be my one good thing. My one thing for me, by me, for me, not contingent on anything else. Because that's all I've really wanted. Like I've always known that there was something like I needed to actualize. Like there was some kind of content that was missing. And I just didn't think, it didn't occur to me that I could just do that, and make that and just be myself. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Like it didn't occur to me that like this standard of excellence that I really had a premonition of. I always had this premonition of this standard of excellence of like media that I would want to consume. I always had that premonition of it, but I never really saw it. I saw it in some people like Alex O'Connor, but like it was so rare that I really truly was impressed by what I saw online. I really had to indoctrinate myself into liking trends back after my mind collapsed when I learned about communism. Back when my mind collapsed when I learned about communism, quarters. I had to like reintegrate myself with like the trends that I never really saw as like important or fun. Like the stuff that like, I don't even know what it was, but like the mundaneness of life. of obsessing over boys and, you know, trying to find meaning in the shows, in the media that I found meaningless. I had to indoctrinate myself back into that. To I had to get myself back into wanting the real world because the real world felt like a mirage after that moment. It felt like such a mirage after I learned about the nature of reality. Like the system of capitalism was so intricate. It was a system that reminded me it was a perfect system of evil. And that perfection of a system has always been alluring to me. Like the interconnected nature of it and how every single thing is meticulously calculated to make people hate themselves and worship money. It was beautifully damning and haunting. And I couldn't get my mind off of it. And I think that's probably how Nick Land felt when he was writing about capitalism being an AI. It was just crazy. But like that's how I felt. And I was marveling and in horror, I guess, over this thing that is the world. And I started to like, it almost felt like I put on like these new glasses and everything I could see differently through these glasses about this world. And since that point, I haven't been the same. Like nothing is more tantalizing than the story of capitalism to me. Nothing. No story can beat that. I love a good horror. I've always loved a good psychological horror. Nothing will beat it. Nothing has beat it for me. Nothing is more tantalizing than reality. Reality is the movie, it's the story, it's the media. And it's like all I could do was think about it and how it needs to be corrected and it needs to be thrown away. Not corrected, thrown away to begin with, you know? And I thought about a new story that was just as intricate, a new system that was just as intricate, but beautiful this time. And how much wonder, like if this intricate system can capture my mind, I just couldn't imagine if we could do the same kind of beautifully made system, you know, but we would put all of our energy and our resources into one build off of good. Where people are actually seeing the benefits of what they put into the world. Where then people would not have to act out of fear and every other person wouldn't seem like your enemy. Where every other person wouldn't seem like they're fending for themselves. People are always acting like they're fighting for their lives and so they don't have the time to bid you a good day, you know? That's what's wrong with the world. That's why everybody sucks. Everybody's programmed, either by good or bad. Some people are lucky enough to have parents with decent, good values that aren't centered around this madness. And so you get a glimpse of what the world could be like if everyone was not living in fear and so acting out of fear and projecting that onto you. I imagined a world like that and it just was it was like a light that was too bright and I couldn't capture it completely because I would always have to be drawn back to this real reality where everyone wants to talk about whatever. And I just want to listen to amazing music and listen to, you know, birds and stuff and nice people who have good ideas and are educated. We don't even have a lot of that anymore because of this. That's what I thought. And I don't know. I know I'm going off track or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like myself collapsed in 2020. It just collapsed. Like I felt like a bundle of buzzing thoughts. And that's why I felt like I wasn't somebody who could be listened to or watched or like, I don't know, in the way that someone can just build a brand around themselves. I felt like there was no self to build a brand around. I was just a scattered mess. It would be like trying to catch a cloud and pin it down. Or like trying to keep a wave on a beach. How do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you catch a cloud and pin it down? How do you find a word that means Maria? A flippity dribbit, a whippet, a whisk, a clown. Many things you know you'd like to tell her. Many things she ought to understand. But how do you make her stay and listen to all you say? How do you keep a wave upon the sand? Oh, how do you solve a problem like Maria? How do you hold her moving in your hands? All right, that's enough of this, bro.